Hello everybody, my name is Selbi182 and today I'm going to give you an example of my recent idea of making a video series based on your balance ideas. For this first episode I'm not going to show any of user submitted ideas and instead will focus on my own ideas for now. This will only be because I want to give you an idea of how this concept is going to work out, so you can decide whether I should change some things or maybe keep them. Well, as you can hear right now, I am from Germany. My accent is a little too creepy for my own opinion, but there really is only so much you can do. Also, as you can hear, I'm pretty much very nervous right now because this is actually the first time ever I'm going to submit something to the internet with my own recorded voice, but I hope you don't mind that too much. Well, for now, the first thing I want to do is actually not something Team Fortress 2 related at all, but rather to show you how you're going to get your own item ideas. For this, we're going to change the item scheme on your offline mode. Now, the first thing we want to do is actually to get the item scheme. To do this, we need a program called GCFScape. You can Google this and it's pretty much the first result you're gonna get. I choose to download the archive, open it, and because I have the 64-bit version of Windows 7, I'm going to use x64. Unzip this somewhere, and that's pretty much all it needs to take. Then, in your Steam apps folder, you can locate this under C program files, x86 if you have it, Steam apps. And now you're going to have a bunch, as you can see I have GCFScape unzipped here. As you can see I have a bunch of GCF files for different games. Team Fortress 2 in fact has like billion of them. The first 6 or so for is a bit better content, but what we want is Team Fortress 2 content GCF. So open that with your GCFScape, and now you have this main window. Locate under TF, scripts, items game. This is the file you want. So open your Team Fortress 2 folder or whatever, TF. Then, if you have it, enter the script folder, make a new folder called items, open it, and then extract your file into here. Open it just to clarify. As you can see, we have everything here. As a little demonstration, let's take a look at, let's say the Winger. The Winger, here we have it. The Winger, first setup, blah blah blah. But this is where we get interesting. Where it gets interesting, I mean. Attributes, damage bonus, clip size penalty. Yeah, this is pretty much the entire thing we want. So as you can clearly see, damage bonus, it's obvious. These are attribute classes, multiply damage, blah blah blah. The same thing applies to clip size penalty and pretty much everything in here. Do note, however, that there are many, and I mean many, item changes which are pretty much hard-coded into the game. For example, let's say the Wrangler. That has been made before the Winger, so it must be somewhere about. As you can see, it's a unique weapon. It's not like it has any special attributes or something. It's a unique weapon and doesn't have anything to change. So well, what can be changed then? Well, if we take a look at the Team Fortress 2 Wiki, we can search for list of item attributes. And this gives us this huge list of item attributes which can be changed. As you can see, they all have a proper indication of whether they're upsides, downsides or neutral attributes. And what's very interesting, if we take a look at this site, these are all used attributes, and these are hidden. They are meant to not show up in the item description, but they're actually there. But the very interesting part is this, unused. they're actually like half of these item attributes are unused, but they are mostly fully functional and can be used at any time. So once this entire series becomes an actual thing, I am going to allow people to make item changes based on these unused ones. Maybe we get some interesting results, who knows. So anyway, this brings us to the next point. Now that we have the items scheme, we need to make sure that the game doesn't actually use these uses this item scheme. And for that we need to locate a file called the hosts file. This the location of this file differs from system to system. Because I have Windows 7, it is located under System with System32 drivers, etc. hosts. So I'm going to copy that, enter this into my folder, hit enter, and it instantly shows up. And this is how it looks by default. So to block Steam from using the real item scheme, we need to redirect it to our own one. This is done by typing the following: 127.0.0.1 media.steampowered.com. Next line, ::1 media.steampowered.com, and save. I'm also going to put this down into the description, so if you're too lazy to type it yourself, I'm not going to stop you. So now that it's saved, we can finally start actually messing with the item changes. You now know how to do it, maybe you can also do it yourself. You can start the game normally, hold on for that, play the game normally, and it will go into the mode. This is interesting, you can still use all your hats, weapon unlocks and whatnot. You can even trade, but it still uses your own item shape. Obviously that means you can't play on actual servers. You need to use you need to create an offline server, and then you can use the item changes. So well, I will see you back in the game with my own item changes. See you soon. Alright, so we are now here on a map called TF Walkway, which is a community training map, which I pretty much use every day for practicing my own skills and tactics and whatnot. As a start, I thought it'd be an interesting idea to show you one of the more crazier changes I came up with. And this is the glorious one-shot, the scatter replacement for this scout. I choose this because look at the stats. Plus 65% more damage, but it has a minus 84% clip size, which means it has only a single shot. That's also one shot, the name. And on top of that, it also has a 65% low reload time. Now, do not think that I want this weapon in the game. Quite the opposite. This is a good example of what can be done and should be avoided by using the item scheme. But it's a simple example to show you that it does work and it works well. So I'm going out now and let's take a look. This is a spy. I'm going to kill that spy now in one shot. 172 damage at most, at point blank at least. And you can see how slow that is. But it does do the job well, and oh, there was a crit. Wow. So well, it does everything. It does shoot at more damage, as you can see. It does have only a single shot, and it reloads at an incredibly slow speed. Once again, I do not want this item to be in the game. I simply wanted to show you what can be done. So for now, for item changes, what I've come up with again, just to show you what can be done. To the rest of this episode, these are all going to be item changes which are solely for demonstration purposes. Whether they're actually good or bad is up to you. So let's get more interesting. We have the Heavy with the Tomislav. And I thought it'd be interesting to show you this. Plus 50% faster move speed while deployed, It's a silent killer as always, and it still has a slow firing speed. But, oh yeah, and by the way, it does not have the increased spin up time because it was only 10% anyway, so it was barely worth anything. But anyway, I came up with this idea when I thought to myself, Atomic SPUF, take a look. It's pretty much a lightweight minigun, so it must be lighter, huh? Well, to that conclusion, it must also be easier to carry around. Because I don't know how to actually mess with the heavy speed in general, Gloss is running ugly by the way, I thought it'd be a better idea to simply reduce the speed penalty he gets when he has his gun spun up. So let's take a look. As you can see, he's still not working at his normal speed, but much faster than before. Actually, let's take a look at the exact speed numbers. See a show pause, and you can see 230 hammer units per second. That's his normal speed. And now he has 165 as deployed speed. To compare that, let's get out the normal minigun. And here he only has 110 hammer units per second, so much faster. The next two item changes I want to talk about are both for the engineer. One, we have the short circuit and the jack. The jack, it's pretty simple really. It has a 15% faster firing speed, but a 50% damage penalty now. The firing speed is just there because it allows engineers to actually get a bonus of the jack even after they've built up pretty much everything in their entire sentry nest. Because now they can repair their buildings faster and they can zap us faster. On the other hand, the short circuit, this is pretty much where I thought, is this really not just a joke? Nope, it isn't. It pretty much has a straight buff everywhere you look at it. It might be a little bit too overpowered now. It now has a 20% faster firing speed, so you actually get a chance to spam this thing now. And it has a 15% faster weapon switch speed. So when you get a soldier nearby, you don't have to wait forever for your weapons to change. And on top of that, because that's simply not enough, 20 ammo per shot consumed instead of 35. So let's take a look how this works. First off, let's build a dispenser like right here. So you can see how fast it goes up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't have any spicy right now, so I don't have any chance to demonstrate this to you, but whatever. The more important part is the short circuit. As you can see, much faster firing speed and weapon deploy speed. So let's see how it works in an actual game scenario. Let's enable constant fire. No clip in here, and yeah, I get it, my timing with this thing is terrible, but that's also because I never actually used it. Whatever, you get the idea. There's still much more to explore, because now finally we're here with a soldier holding something very unusual for him. The family business. A weapon that is normally limited to the heavy only. But because the item scheme is so simple to edit, you can just say, no, I don't want this weapon to be heavy only, it can now also be used by Pyro and the soldier. Of course, I'm not going to show you the Pyro because that's just the same I'm going to demonstrate you now. So, let's take a look. As you can see, it does clip with his hands a lot, which is pretty much the main reason why Valve probably didn't change this thing now. But It does work as you would expect. Just fine. So the only reason why Valve probably didn't change this yet, because it is a normal shotgun replacement, every class can use it, is because of this clipping issue they don't want to fix. That was a crit. Alright, so that's it for episode 0. What did you think? Did you think I was a little bit too tedious with the item changes? Well, I was, no question here, but do you think the concept was well? Do you think my chosen map was okay? Did you think the way I demonstrated the weapons was good? I mean, for the first time I'm actually rather focusing on the idea itself rather than the actual execution. Because for the execution I want you guys to give me tips. This is the first time I'm ever doing something like this, so things may go wrong for the first time. But well, I'm hearing your opinions on the Steam forums, or SPUF, or whatever you want to call it. And I'll see you next episode if there ever is going to be one. Bye!